Bitcoin is experiencing international FOMO, guys. Just check this out. Bam! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, whenever you're watching this video. Welcome to the Bitcoin family channel. For the newcomers, my name is Didi. In today's video, guys, I have 4 amazing short but powerful news items that are supporting Bitcoin. I have 5 amazing charts that you need to see today. I have an inspirational quote, and I will end the video completely at the end with a clip out of a video that I made 4 years ago in Portugal, where I warned all of you about the war about Bitcoin with Iran, all in that clip. Guys, that will be the end of the video. For all those people that really want to see the end, what I did 4 years ago, it was a video I made with my wife on the beach. It's a really funny video, but there was a huge part in it about a war in Iran that I told people this is going to happen in the future. Now it sadly happened, but I just want to show you, yes, I knew this was going to happen because of Bitcoin. Now, let's first start with the news. Bam! First news item, the US Federal Housing Agency just announced they are gonna consider Bitcoin for their mortgages, which means if people have a Bitcoin saving plan or they hold a couple of Bitcoins, they can use that as a proof of finance, proof of funds to get a mortgage. This is huge because it has never been possible. Of course, I would never do that. I would never use a centralized bank to get a mortgage. I would always use my Bitcoin as a collateral in one of the decentralized blockchain platforms like Aave, and there I will use my Bitcoin to get a loan, and with that loan buy a house, because I want to be hedged into Bitcoin at the same time that I buy that house. It's a difficult thing, but maybe I need to make an exclusive video about that, how to do that. So I would not use a bank, but it's very positive for the normal people that are not really trusting Bitcoin yet, that they now, if they hodl a couple of Bitcoins, can use that to calculate the mortgage they want to get at one of the banks, guys. So this is interesting. This is very interesting because that is again a proof that Bitcoin is one of the most reliable assets that now these mortgage companies are going to use. Okay, yeah, you have an income, you have a car, or you also have a saving fund in Bitcoin. Okay, yes, you can get a mortgage. Interesting news. Second news item, India's ruling party is considering a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Yes, you heard that right. Because you know, India has been banning Bitcoin already for a couple of years, a couple of times, unban, ban, and unban, etc. Now, the ruling party is considering to start a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Just like the United States, just like Switzerland, just like El Salvador, just like Argentina, just like Brazil, just like Germany, like all of these countries are now starting a Bitcoin strategic reserve. And now India, one of the biggest economies in the world, also, that ruling party is saying, hey, we should be considering a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Second very bullish news item. Then the third news item that's really bullish for Bitcoin is that the Kazakhstan president renewed his vows to create a Bitcoin city in Kazakhstan, a complete new Bitcoin city in Kazakhstan where everyone needs to accept and spend Bitcoins. This is nationwide, now like international FOMO. All of this, are you hearing what I'm saying? We are having Bitcoin FOMO in the United States. We are having Bitcoin FOMO in India. We are having Bitcoin FOMO in Brazil, in Argentina, all over Europe. We are having Bitcoin FOMO now also in Kazakhstan. Guys, this is huge. I still believe that the war in Iran and Israel is about Bitcoin. And you could say, Didi, you're fucked up crazy, that is like stupid. Of course, I'm very sad for all the victims and everybody that's dying over there. I don't believe it's a religionist war. I don't believe it's about like a country line, like it's not like red land grabbing. This is about Bitcoin. But watch the last 3 minutes of my video to understand why I am saying this, okay? Now, very bullish nationwide FOMO news. All over the world, all countries adapting to the Bitcoin strategic reserve. Why? Because they all understand Bitcoin is the strongest asset, the digital gold of the 21st century that can't be destroyed, that can't be bombed, that can't be taken. It is the best asset value-wise, but also the best asset that you can hide for your enemies, the best asset that you can take into space, the best asset when it comes to performance, return on investment. There is no other asset like Bitcoin. Let's be honest. That is why these countries are going after Bitcoin. And of course they are fooling retail in the news articles. No, Bitcoin is no good. No, don't buy Bitcoin. Because they want to buy all the Bitcoins. You are being fooled once again. Last time they fooled you about some kind of strange virus that was killing you, and you all started to run around with face diapers and inject all kinds of shit and believe that you were going to die. And now afterwards we all can agree with what I said already at that moment. Yeah, that was a fake flu show. And now you're fooled again. Now Bitcoin is not good. And they start to accumulate Bitcoin massively because they know this is going to be the gold of the 21st century. The gold that can't be destroyed by a bomb, guys. It's very simple to understand in my opinion, but hopefully you will understand now as well and accumulate as much as possible Bitcoins. Just look at all your assets, everything you own, and just talk to yourself in the mirror. Look to yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, which of these assets can they take from me? What is confiscatable? What can they just take from me or destroy? Your house, your cars, your bank account? Can they freeze your bank account? Can they take your money if they want, if you do something wrong in their opinion? Can they take your house if you do something wrong? Can they destroy it? Can they confiscate your cars? Look at all your assets. What can they confiscate and what is unconfiscatable? The only asset, in my opinion, that is unconfiscatable is Bitcoin. Even your cash money that you have in your drawer, that one is confiscatable. If they invade your house, they can take that money. They can't take your Bitcoins if you just store them in the right way, guys. Please understand that part of the power of Bitcoin. That were all the news items, but let's jump now into the charts to see what is happening to Bitcoin. As I told you, the war will dip Bitcoin and be pumped back again to a level. We are even higher than before the bombing. We will soon, in my opinion, see level between 110 and 120K. I'm going to show you on the chart why I believe this, guys. Bam! And there we are, guys, for our chart. First chart of the day. Coffee is important to start your day. Now, there we are, 4 hour. I drew 2 dotted blue lines on this one. We have this chart line over there. I think it's important, and this one over there. Now, it is important that we break that line. As you can see, we had resistance over there, then over there, then here with a wick, now over there. This is a downward trend line. We need to break this trend line to become bullish. So what we need to do is we need to go above it, be resisted again at that 109K, retest that downward trend line, and then move up somewhere to there. That is the move that we should be doing now. Now, the question is this now a bullish flag pattern? Because it's kind of in a flag, and we kind of could also draw a very long pole over here. Or is this a descending wedge? Both possible if we would make this one a little bit more like this. Both of these patterns, bullish flag, mostly bullish, this one could go both ways. So this is the short-term trading. We can see the RSI is really high, we can see the green is high, the red line is now on top. So we could expect a pullback. Then we need to find support on this green line, and then maybe the next bounce break that downward trend line. That's the thing that we need to do short-term. Gaussian channel showed again, look, almost wicking into it. Very important that we stay above it. I told you this, and we are staying above it. This is really good 5-day chart. Amazing news for the 5-day chart, guys. Now, then we have, of course, also here the summer chart that I told you. There's a lot of liquidity that we could scoop up during the summer, and mainly here around the 110,000 to 112,000. That is where we liquidated a lot of shorts, the people that go short. And over here, also still 90K, a lot of liquidation there. So summer, for me, still boring summer. I hope we keep support above that 100K over there. But I do think if we take some liquidity out, again, we will come back again to retest this area over there, 104K, and then again try to go higher. That is the move I want to see, guys. Now, Then I have a couple of other charts over here. This is the first one. This one is showing us the liquidation heat map in the last 24 hours, so for 20 hours. Here we can see exactly the same that I just showed you. There is a lot of liquidation. Here also a lot of liquidation. These levels are important because these are the levels we mostly hunt as traders to liquidate the market and to multiply our Bitcoins. That's how it just works, guys. Now, if we zoom out a little bit into this chart, then we can see the 1 month heat map, that the biggest amount of liquidations at the moment is around that 110,000 US dollar. That is a very important level on the monthly. Look how big the liquidations will be there. This area would be a new all-time high. That is, of course, the area that we're hunting for. We're gonna hunt for a new all-time high, maybe all the way to 115K, 120K, but this liquidation, I think, is what we're hunting for. We can also see a beautiful V-shaped bounce from that war, and that war again is making Bitcoin pump because people understand the true value behind Bitcoins. This one, very important area, that 110 to 115, that is the area we should be going into and scoop up all that liquidity there. This is a chart I found on Twitter. I don't even know who posted it anymore, but in the top left you can see who created the chart. That one over there. It's pretty in line. It's a day chart on Bitstamp with what I just showed you. Look, he's saying, no, it's not a bull flag. It's more like a rising wedge. We can see the patterns over here on those things. You can see the different patterns. Maybe you need to make a screenshot so you have them, or Google chart patterns in Bitcoin. But he's saying, look, we haven't need this pole. We haven't need this flag or wedge. And the breakout should be somewhere towards 160,000 US dollars. I have the same target for the end of the bull market, but I don't have it already in July. For me, it's going to happen towards the beginning of October, like end of September, beginning of October. That is when we reach 160K. So he is saying the breakout will be in July. Of course, it's not going to go straight up. It also will go like a path. So he says the breakout will be in August, somewhere at the top. I say 1 month later, end of September, beginning of October, that's when we reach 160K. But yes, I agree, this could mean a huge pump. Also because of all the other things and the bullish crosses, etc. that we can see on this chart, guys. Okay? Amazing chart. Then I have one more chart, and it is this one, because of course always nice to know what happened in the last couple of years. I'm going to put my face over here so that you can understand most of the chart. The thing that you need to understand now, if we are going to look into the bull markets, 2017, for example, was a bull market year, okay? In the bull market year, October, November, and December were the most bullish months. September, was still a little bit bearish. But then again, June, July, and August were also bullish. So the summer in 2017 was bullish. Then we had a September, and then again, very bullish months. The most bullish months were the last 3 of the year. 2021, June was bearish. July and August were bullish, because that was a bullish summer, not like a huge bullish, but still bullish. Then September bearish, October was massively bullish, and November the bear market started. So here, this block was the most bullish block. Here, this block was the most bullish block. So we can see that the last 2 bull markets, July until December, was a very interesting market. In average, it was more bullish than bearish, as we can see. 18 plus 13% is like 31%, plus 39% is 70% plus, 7% down, 7% down, that is like 14 and 30, so it's like 30% down. So it's 40% up on average in those months. 40% move from July till December. In 2017, it was even a bigger move. It was like 17%, that's like 80%, like 120, 170, like almost 200% up and 7% down. So this part of the bull market in 2017 was the bullish part. A lot of up in the price, and then 2021 also this part was the most bullish part, and now we are in 2025 bull market. This part is going to be the most bullish part. And yes, we will have a bearish month or 2 bearish months, but this is going to be the most bullish month, guys. Please understand that. 2013 bull market, same. July, bullish. August, bullish. September, a little bit bearish. October, November, massively bullish. The second part in the bull market of the year is always the most bullish part. And we can see that here in the average in the bottom. An average, July was +7, August was even plus, September was a minus month, October, November, December, all plus months. Please understand this chart. Pause it if you want to see the full chart. I'm going to make my face disappear now. Now you can pause it and you have the full chart if you want, guys. That was also the last chart of the video. I hope you really enjoyed this one. Now let's jump into the next part. Use my special link down below here to sign up to Bybit and claim your amazing bonus up to $30,000 US. You will receive $30 for just signing up. Use my link down below and click it now. I hope you really enjoyed those charts, guys. Yes, short-term, amazing volatility. Guys, let's be very honest. I keep repeating it. If you're a trader, you love volatility because that's how you make money, because the market needs to move to be able to buy and sell. So volatile markets is amazing for traders. If you're an investor, you're just observing that volatility, but you understand that you need to zoom out and look at that bigger picture and understand that Bitcoin will go to 500K and $1 million in the next 10 years. So you don't even worry about that volatile market because you just keep adding Bitcoins at 100K, at 200K, as you believe Bitcoin will go to $1 million. Even if you buy Bitcoin at 200K and we go to $1 million, that's still 5x profits. That's like a 500%, like 400% profit with a 500% run. That's insane return on investment on your capital. Now, I think it's very important for all of you to decide what you are. Are you a trader? Do you really have the time daily to be trading the market? Or are you an investor? An investor that just invests in something for the long term and understands that it will go with up and downs, but doesn't matter, keeps adding to their portfolio as they believe in the long term. Now, there is an option for you to do both. You can be an investor, believe in Bitcoin for the long term, but you can still have those Bitcoin traded daily for you through an algorithm that we as the Bitcoin family use. And if you use that algorithm, you're making 3.5% a month. One Bitcoin is turning into 1.45 Bitcoin within 12 months. That's 45% profit that we made in the last 12 months. So you still are in your Bitcoins, but a trading algorithm is multiplying your Bitcoins on your account. You don't need to send us Bitcoins. You hodl your Bitcoins on your Bybit account. You need to sign up through our link to Bybit. Then you deposit your Bitcoins there. You give us access with an API key, so we can't withdraw, we can only trade. Then we start to trade your Bitcoins and we're making 3.5% an average profit each month. It can be 1% some months, it can be 8% other months, an average 3.5%. Let's say an average around 50% a year. That's an insane return on investment. So then you don't need to spend your own time in trading. You don't need to educate yourself on trading. You don't need to spend time in trading. You can just keep doing your normal job, your normal life, and your algorithm, AI, is trading for you. While you hodl your Bitcoins, you increase your Bitcoins. And that is how you have it both ways. You hodl Bitcoin and you trade your Bitcoin without even having knowledge to trade, but trusting the newest technology improvements in AI trading, guys. Simple as that. And yes, we have been doing that as a family already for a couple of years. Same algorithm, trading our capital. Last year I went public with it. I have said I tested it out long enough. This is the open account, public account, one Bitcoin, and I've kept tracking that one account and kept sharing screenshots of that account. That one is now around 1.5 Bitcoin 14 months later, guys. That's what the return on investment is on that algorithm. So if you want to do that, use the link down below. It's called Trade with Sequence/TBF. Only if you use our link, you get a discount in the fees, because yes, sadly, you need to pay a little bit of your profits to us as well. That's how the company manages your account, guys. So that were the charts for today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed them. If you did enjoy this, give it already a thumbs up. Bam! The quote for today, guys: do not let making a living prevent you from making a life. Very simple. I know that a lot of people are living in a different way and they only live to work. You should be working to be able to live. Making a living, providing for an income for your family, should not be the main thing you do in your life. Making a life should be. You should be making a life, enjoying every single minute of the day. And if that is not through making a living, you are not doing it the correct way. If this making a living is making you sad, making you depressive, making you not to wake up, then maybe you should change this part of your life. Making a living should not be preventing you making a life. That is why I always say it is very important that you start to understand that you make your capital work for you. The moment you have your capital working for you, you need to spend less time in making a living. You can spend more time in making a life. And there is multiple ways to have your capital working for you. But as long as you keep your capital stuck in bricks in a big house, or keep your capital on a bank account that's not giving you interest, or keep your capital in 6 different cars because you like to have 6 different cars to show your neighbors that you have 6 different cars, or keep your capital in all that strange shit on your attic or in your basement or in your garage that you're not using, that capital just lays around and doesn't do fuck. You need to make that capital work for you. We made that capital work for us by selling all that shit that we didn't use, all that shit that we didn't like, all that stuff that we had multiple things of, and we put all that capital to work in Bitcoin. Since we have adapted that strategy, using all the capital in Bitcoin, Bitcoin went up massively in value and keeps up going massively in value. And as I believe, Bitcoin will go to $1 million in 10 years. So then that capital started to work for me. I need to spend less time in working, more time in enjoying and making life. Everyone that has an own house with an overvalue can do that same thing. Now at the moment it's a little bit risky. But we all know that there is a bear market in 2026 all the way till the beginning of 2027. So if you have a house with a shitload of overvalue, let's say you have a house with 300k overvalue, $300,000 or euros, that money is now being used by the bank. The bank is using that overvalue, that money, to work for them, as they are lending that money against to other people because they have it. That money should be working for you. So if you sell your house, for example, now, you get like 300k, you sell your house towards the end of the year, you know that there's a bull market top, you wait for the bear market bottom, you let it crash, maybe to 60k, whatever it will be, and you have 300k divided by 60k, you buy 5 Bitcoins. Then that 300k will turn into $1 million. 5 Bitcoins will turn into $5 million in the next 10 years. That is how your capital changes from 300k to $1 million or $5 million in 10 years time. That is having the capital work for you and making sure that you have a beautiful future and your children as well. Not if you keep that capital in the banks and let them profit of it. That's the simple trick. And that's why the inspirational quote for today is a very important one. Do never let making a living prevent you from making a life. That making a life is the important part. That's why I always end my videos with, you need to zoom out in Bitcoin. Look at that bigger picture. And you need to zoom in on life. You need to be enjoying every single minute of the day to the fullest. That was my video for today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video or learned something from the video, then give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. What do you think about the news? What do you think about the charts? What do you think about that last part? And if you want to watch that last clip, 3 minutes, what my wife and I told you about the wall you're on, keep watching. If not, then just end it here, guys. Thank you for watching. I wish you an amazing day and see you tomorrow again. Bam.
So let's jump into blockchain/news part, this part. Bam! She was timing perfect. Did you read the news yesterday, guys, about Iran? Iran just announced on state level that they are going to allow and see Bitcoin as an official value to use for import goods into Iran. So now everybody, all the companies, all the private persons in Iran can legally start to import goods into Iran by using Bitcoin. This might sound like normal to you guys, but this is huge because Iran was fully depending on the US dollar. And because of all the US sanctions to Iran, Iran didn't have dollars anymore, so they couldn't import anymore. Can you imagine how a country feels when they cannot import anymore because they are forced into a corner by another huge country like the United States? I don't know, I've never lived in such a country, but I think it feels like terrible. And now the Iran government said, fuck it, we are going to use Bitcoin to do import, so we are going to do all the international trades with Bitcoin, import, export, and everything is just legal from now. And you know Iran already started to mine Bitcoins with huge power plants like 8 months ago. So this was all pre-planned in my opinion. I think they started to mine a shitload of Bitcoins by allowing power plants to use the energy to mine Bitcoins. And now they are going to use these Bitcoins to import goods into Iran. Really smart move, but also a very dangerous move, because I do think that could be a reason for example, the US to invade Iran again and to start a war, because they just want these countries to be dependent on the United States, on the Western countries, on the Western world. And sorry guys if I offend you because you're like living in the US, because like 19% of our viewers is from the United States. I don't want to offend you, but this is just how it is. This is just how economy has been done the last couple of decades, and I think it's going to be a huge shift now because of these beautiful tools, blockchain and Bitcoin. And now Iran is the first country to give an example, but I think many countries will start to use Bitcoin and other DeFi, decentralized cryptos, for example the central banks decentralized cryptos, to do import and export, and by that surpass the US dollar, the Chinese yuan, and all these other high-level currencies. So let's see how this will evolve, but it can go two ways. It can go the really bad way, and then we get a war, and then can go the really good way, and then we get open economy all over the world because of blockchain and Bitcoin. Let me know what you think about it, so leave a comment down below, because I love it if you educate me on this. Maybe I am completely wrong, maybe you have another opinion, so let me know your opinion down below in the comments so you can educate me while I educate you. Thanks for that already in advance. I was searching for the word, that's why the sentence was in advance.